YouTubers, here today with another video, and today I'm going to talk about shot shell reloading. I'm going to tell you a little reason why I got into it. The main reason is I shoot a lot of shotgun shells, and I figured, you know what, it might be a little bit cheaper to reload, and I figured, you know what, it'd also be a fun hobby, and the biggest and most important thing about it is, guess what, since I'm going to be off the grid in a shade span scenario, um, or semi off the grid, if you will. I'm going to be more self-sufficient. I'm going to be able to, hopefully, if I can stockpile a lot of powder, lead to make the slugs that I make, and stock up on primers and keep them in sealed containers, like those ammo cans. I'll be able to make my own shells, and I won't have to rely on any other source. Especially when shit hasn't hit the fan yet, I can be stocking up on the shells that I do reload. Although it's really hard not to shoot them. But I'm going to walk you through the process of how to reload with this Lee load all press. And it's also going to be a review for it. So basically, an overview on this thing. Great press for the money. You can go on Amazon, buy them for like $50. It's a $50 investment. Great piece of equipment here. Comes with all the bushings and stuff that you need for the powder and the shot. Everything from I think a 95 bushing, which is for the powder, and as small as, I believe, 3/4 shot bushing. And as you can see here, this is a 155 powder bushing, and I'm loading a 1 ounce slug in it. So that's the one I found that is going to work the best for me. And then you slide this over. Now load your powder. And it's kind of hard to see on camera, but that right there is a 1 ounce bushing that I have in there currently. And that's for the shot. So without further ado, I'm going to walk you through and show you how to do this. Up top, this is where all your bushings and stuff are located. And the tray comes right off. Just pull it off. There's all the bushings and stuff that you need. Powder and the shot bushings are also in there. The shot is labeled, of course, in ounces. And the bushing, I'm guessing, is in grains of powder. I'm also fairly new to this, so bear with me. If I'm not saying something right, or if I'm not giving correct information, definitely comment below and help me learn and become more knowledgeable about this. I'm going to be using Alliant powder. It's Blue Dot. Purchased this at a local gun/pawn shop. About $20 for a pound of powder, and I've loaded so far almost close to 100 rounds of slugs, and I'm not even half empty on it yet. So it's gone quite a long way so far. I haven't really had any problems with it. No misfires or anything like that. It's smokeless, Magnum shot shell and handgun powder. So if you reload handgun shells like 9mm or 45 ACP, 45 long Colt, 380, this is going to be your optimal powder in reloading handgun shells also. Alright, so basically your powder is going to go where the powder is, which is right above it, and that's where your shot goes if you're going to be reloading like game loads or stuff like that. Buckshot is a little bit different. You're going to be able to reload that stuff. You're going to have to reload that stuff manually because it's, the diameter of it's going to be a little bit bigger. And also that comes with it, this is what comes with it. This is your charge table. It's got all the different charges for just about every shot amount that you're going to use. Ounce, ounce and an eighth, ounce and a quarter, ounce and 5/8, 1.5 ounce. And then it has all the bushing numbers. So this is a great piece of knowledge and piece of equipment that you could use for just this one press. This doesn't work with anything else. It's not compatible with any other reloading, like progressive press or whatever. And then of course this is also on the back. This is again the bushing capacity chart, telling you how many grains and stuff that you could have. And since I'm using the blue dot powder, which you can see about in the middle of the screen there, I'm using a 155 bushing. I'm using roughly about 29 grains of powder per shot. So always refer back to this thing. This is a great tool, and so you don't blow yourself up. I'm going to be using a Winchester primer. 209 is most of your standard shotgun primers. So anyway, what comes with it? This is your sizing ring. This is your brass sizing ring for your shells. And also I'm going to be using a Winchester AA shell. These are awesome. They reload really easily. Getting the primer out is really easily. Sizing the brass and everything's good. So you just put in station 1, pull down the handle, and you have your primer out now. You can see through it, which is what you want. Then, unless you could also upgrade to get a primer feed for this particular model. You can also get that on Amazon. So you stick the primer, and you want your primer. You want this part right here, which is the top of the primer, where the firing pin is going to strike. You want that silver side. You want it facing out, which is what you are going to have the firing pin hit. And then you're going to stick your shell in station 2. And also keep in mind, I like to do this kind of broken up. I like putting new primers, or taking the old primers out and putting new primers in, so that way it's faster when you do that, especially when you do say 100 rounds per day or something like that. And then you just push this handle down. It'll release the brass sizing ring, and now you have a new primer put in your shotgun shell. Then you slide this in station number 3. Now you're going to pull this down, give this a tap, and you're going to have this slide to the powder side. And since you don't have any shot in there, you're going to slide this over to the shot side, and it won't fill up a shot or anything. And then it'll drop your powder in there. So now you have your powder in the shell. You can kind of hear it. And then I'm going to be using a Clay Buster AA 12 gauge load. These are for 1 ounce shot or slugs, if you have a 1 ounce slug, which in this case I do. And they have different wad sizes, so keep that in mind. If you're going to have different shot, you're going to also need a different size wad. And these right here are pink. Not my favorite color by any means, but this is what I needed. So again, this is the Clay Buster AA 12 replacement wad for the Winchester. So now you're going to take your wad, you're going to set it in there, and you're just going to barely start this wad. Okay, you're just going to, just a little bit. About right there is where you want it. Now you're going to take your slug, and these are the 1 ounce Lee slugs, and I'll be doing a video about the slug mold itself and giving a review on it, hopefully rather quick. So you just set your slug in the wad. You're going to pull the handle down again, and you're going to seat that wad and slug. Now you don't want to be too forceful on this now. You just want it just nice and snug. Don't crank on it. And now, because you can tell the amount of crimps on this shell, this is an 8 crimp. And the back one, which is where my finger is pointing, that's going to be for a 6 crimp. Mostly your buckshot is going to be a 6. And game loads are usually, which in this case, this is what this was, a AA, was a target load, so it has 8. So and make sure also, and I've done this myself, see that little indentation right there where you can tell where the crimp was started originally in the shell? You're also going to want that facing towards you, otherwise you're going to get a really ugly crimp, and you're not going to want it. And it's pretty much, once you crimp it wrong the first time, it's really almost impossible to fix it. So you're just going to want to push down on the handle again, and this is just going to start the crimp, okay? This is the kind of crimp you want. This is a really good crimp. Most of the time, if you don't have that one thing facing forward, that indentation on the shell, it's going to come out ugly. It's not going to come out the way it just did. And then the last station is finishing the crimp. You're going to pull down on the handle and finish the crimp. And now that you finish the crimp, you got a slug shotgun shell. So that's pretty much it. Great piece of equipment, makes a great crimp. Haven't had any problems yet. Like I said, I was telling you about the crimping. You know, if you don't have that little indentation facing forward towards you, you're gonna get a crappy crimp. So that's just human error. Other than that, for a $50 piece of equipment to get into reloading at a decent level, when you're just a beginner, you know, this is a great piece of equipment. Cheap. Amazon, you get free shipping on it if you have Amazon Prime, or even if you don't, it's got the Prime shipping on it, 5 to 8 day free shipping. And this is just great. And be sure to definitely oil these right here for the handle, because eventually they will start rusting on you. So definitely oil those. Same with the brass resizing ring. And one thing I did not mention, see that little 12 right there? It's kind of hard to see on camera, but there's a little 12, and see this little ring on the top of it? You want this facing up, because if you don't have this facing up, it's not going to resize the brass properly. It's just going to slide on there. Like, I'll pull out another unloaded shell, if you will. If you put it on here just like this with the ring facing down, guess what? It's just going to slide on there like that, and you don't want that. You want it to slide on there just like this. That's where you want it. But if you got any comments, suggestions, or anything, just drop one of those below. Like our video, and subscribe to our channel, Mid-Mill Headhunters. And as always, have a good day.